Hello and welcome to another episode of This Is Our Year.
What's up, Mike?
Doug, how are you doing?
Oh, it's a nice, beautiful Saturday morning up here in Connecticut. How are things
Yeah,
out in
what's
LA?
what's what's the temperature in Connecticut? Let's do old
Mm,
white guy questions.
it's
What's
like
the
a nice
temperature?
78, fairly low humidity. It's pretty much perfect Connecticut weather, man.
What is the barometer? What is the barometer actually?
Goddamn kids down the street stole it. I haven't replaced it.
78. And what is the price of gas in Connecticut these days,
I
Doug?
I don't own a car. I have no idea. I'm that guy.
Uh,
It's
for the
349 actually. I was at Citgo yesterday. I know this.
Sitco. Sitco.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's not bad. So, for those of you that don't know, because we've never told the story before, I met Doug in the summer of 1996 because we had
I want to
just
say
moved.
5.
Was it 5?
Yeah, man.
Now it would have been 16. Yeah, you're right. I met Doug in the summer of 1995. We had just moved back from Richmond Hill, Ontario, which is a suburb of Toronto. Yes, I lived in Canada for 3 years. We got into that a little bit last episode talking about socialism, but we'll put that story on pause because we want to know what is Doug drinking.
We thank all the new subscribers from the Democratic Socialists. We thank you for joining.
Yes,
uh, hey, speaking of 1995, look at this beautiful thing. Look at this work of art.
dude, is this your first one
Our,
ever?
this is my first one ever. Bought on a whim with Jenny, and she was going to drink this, and then you uh oh, uh,
Serendipitously.
thank you. I missed the tuss. Uh, you post like I bought it. We bought it 2 days, and then you texted us and like, oh my god, they make an Arizona iced tea now, and I'm hard iced tea. That is 5%, and I'm like, oh, I know,
Oh yes, I know.
right
I
there in the
know.
fridge. So had to save it for the show. It's all there. The green tea, the ginseng and honey,
Yeah, yeah,
and it was like $3. So what a way to
yeah,
start the day
uh,
with
dude.
and these go back to that era, right? Just to tie it back to your story,
Yeah,
and not to take you off the rails, but I hear the guy who runs this is like, we are not changing the effing price, right? It's always been 99 cents on the can. Figure it
yeah,
out.
yeah. I don't know
Kind of
about
like the
that,
hot dogs at Costco. Like CEOs, like, I will murder you if you raise the prices of those hot dogs.
dude. Because we have a family now. You're sending me down. You're sending me down various rabbit holes. So
That's what
let's.
I'm here for. I mean, god damn, if we just talked about the Mets for an hour. Wow.
I know. Look, I'm wearing this shirt
Hey,
because I
hey,
don't
we're
I
repping.
don't know I don't know how much longer I can wear this shirt for. And we'll get
Right.
into that in a little bit. But yeah. So I mentioned the summer of
Mm.
'95, and for the audience out there, we'll make this one quick. Doug was driving what was it, like a 92 Jeep Cherokee Sport at that time, or
Yeah.
90 something, 95, maybe it was
We
95, right?
the model was 95. It was brand new. We got
Oh,
it in like 94.
so your parents bought you a brand new car and gave it to you
Mm,
for your
yeah, you sort of. I
sort of.
like got privileges and then I didn't many times back and forth. If you recall,
Got it.
you may recall me driving some people to a prom in a Plymouth Voyager with wood trim. So I
Maybe.
anyway,
Maybe. So Doug had this 1995 Jeep Cherokee Sport Red. He crashed it at one point in time, nothing major, and when they put the
just that
Jeep
once.
and when they reinstalled the word Jeep on it,
Oh yeah,
they made a lowercase J instead of an uppercase J. I'll never
such
forget that.
disrespect from
Such
Mako.
disrespect.
I
Yeah,
never went back to Mako. Uh-oh, better call someone else, fuckers.
double A. Well, that's Amco. There's Amco and there's Mako. It's like the same old.
Amco, yeah. I
Um,
was an Amco guy after that.
so Doug had this Jeep until when, bro? When did you
I
finally
retired it
like?
I retired it in August of I think it was either 2018 or 2019. So I might have gotten the full quarter decade of use of that blessed.
How
But
many
it's
miles did
that's
you
my
put on
heart
that
right
thing?
there.
How many miles did you put on that thing?
It's a little skewed because I put on like 150 in the first like 10 years, and then, or more than that probably. And then I kind of started working from home, and it was sitting in a garage for like the last 10 years of its life. So it flirted with 200, but it was actually fairly low. And those things weren't made great in the 90s. Chrysler was kind of struggling, but I will give it credit. Like as the frame around it rusted out eventually, the engine was kind of still running. I did have to replace the drive shaft once, but that's it.
That's
So
that's pretty impressive,
props to
I have to say.
Lee Iacocca, whoever the hell was in charge back then. But
I think it was Lee Iacocca, which, by the way, another funny story. He owns his like name and his wife's name are on the not the hospital, but like one of the buildings at the hospital over here in Newport
oh
Beach.
yeah, philanthropy.
Yes, philanthropy for rich white people,
Hmm.
or rich people. They don't have to be white, so we'll correct that.
That's
Edit
right.
that
Yeah, we got that in post.
out. But then we were talking. What were we talking about after that? Oh, the Arizona iced tea. So, dude, I went to Santa Fe, New Mexico, Sunday through Wednesday, and it was for Circle K Rocky Mountain Business Unit, which is Colorado, New Mexico, and West Texas. Um, and they were doing their trade show, and we've never been to one of these before, and we service Circle K, their stores, our my company does, and we do their maintenance and facility.
Are
So
weird things afoot at the Circle K? I have to throw in a Bill and Ted reference there.
not,
What,
I mean, yes.
something like that.
I mean, yeah, come on, man. Like, so I didn't know what I was getting into, and I thought we were meeting with all the like construction maintenance guys, whatever, and we did. But there was also like all the store managers were there, right? And so they have this trade show floor, which it made no sense for us to be on the trade show floor because the store managers don't call us directly, right? They call their facility guy, and their facility guy calls us.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot about Circle K on this trip. The store managers do order the products that go into the store, right? So if something sells good, they can order it. And so all of the other people at the trade show were like Red Bull and Frito Lay and
Sure.
Pepsi and but there was every
On the go shit.
yeah, but there was every like different type of alcohol was there too, and tobacco, and they were giving free samples, and then you could order on the site. That was the whole thing. Like,
I could bum
oh,
cigs from this conference, you're
I
saying?
don't think they had cigarettes, but they had boo. I mean, they had booze, and so
Just make a day of it.
Arizona hard iced tea was there, and it was like it wasn't like directly across from us, but it was like kind of like kitty corner, however the fuck you say it, across
Yeah.
from us. And I'm like, shit, that's the same thing you just said. I'm like, Arizona iced tea. They have a hard iced tea. What the fuck? So I walked up to the guy because there was like a lot of downtime for us because nobody cared what we did because we weren't giving away free products and then selling them to stock their
Right.
shelves. And everyone was like, "Oh, you got to talk to this guy." Like literally, everybody. What do you guys
Yeah. Yeah.
do? Oh, you guys do maintenance. You got to talk to this one
Yeah.
guy. He's
Yeah.
over
Get
there.
out of
So
here. Right.
yeah, so I finally, and these guys, they show up with all these free samples. They don't want to take them home, right? They just want to give them away. So I walked over to the Arizona
I
hard
do
iced
that
tea
shit
guy.
in my line of business. Sometimes I have to do that. So I
Oh
get
yeah,
it.
us too. We gave away
Yeah.
everything. Well, they didn't care who we were. They just wanted a free hat and a free golf
Yeah. Yeah.
ball. So we walked up to, I walked up to the Arizona iced tea guy, and I'm like, "Hey man, is this like, when did you guys start doing this?" And he's like, we started doing it about 6 months ago. He said it was pretty interesting. He was like, these are the actual like 99-cent Arizona iced tea. Like what you're drinking is
It
that,
tastes just like it, by the way. I
yeah,
mean,
with
this
some,
is not sponsored content. They should cut us a check, but this is very tasty.
yeah. And so he said like all the teas are the exact teas you drink with not alcohol in it, and
Yeah.
they just dump alcohol in it.
And dude, I cannot taste the alcohol. I mean, I'm Doug O'Keefe, but it's this is impressive. Maybe you need a little pickup before work. You swing by the Circle K.
Right, and you
Get the day
slamming it
started.
hard Arizona iced tea just to get through
And
that fucking TPS
yeah,
meeting with Bob.
and all you have to do is just block the hard part because it's the same damn can,
There's
basically.
someone's gonna fuck that up and buy hard Arizona iced tea and drink it and thinking it's
Well,
regular Arizona iced tea.
here I have a question for you. For the California sober crowd, are they making CBD/THC versions of this?
Of Arizona or just in general?
Like this, but it says, you know, 5 milligrams or whatever.
No, I don't think so. I can't imagine that Arizona would do that. That would be a backlash nationwide. But
Really?
there are CBD drinks readily available that
Well, there's THC drinks now too. Like how
yeah.
long till Bud Light gets into that? You know,
Well, that's their biggest reason that they're fighting the marijuana industries because they are losing foothold on, the recreational drugs and
can't beat
alcohol
them, join
knows
them.
alcohol knows that THC will win in the long haul because you don't get a hangover from THC.
Yeah,
Alcohol, you get a freaking. I mean,
alcohol's way more destructive. We don't have
I
to go
I
down
have
that.
I have a hangover currently, and I didn't even drink a lot yesterday. Jesus Christ!
Good
So,
job, by the way. You
oh,
got to keep it going. Remember, just have a little in the morning, smooth
I'm
it out.
playing. I'm playing some golf
I'm
today.
kidding.
I don't want to show up to
Oh
the
yeah, you're gonna
tee
die on the
box.
course. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to show up to the tee box,
How's the temp?
which currently, I mean, it's 8 in the morning here, so
Oh yeah,
it's
but when you're
62
out there,
degrees.
okay,
Today
it's
it
not
will
bad.
be, let's see full forecast. It is going to be uh it'll be 71 today.
Oh, that's
71 and sunny.
perfect.
Perfect day. Perfect day
I
on the
played
course.
around in about 80 the other day in a lot of sun. Um, I always feel like as long as it's not like overly humid.
I played we played around in the Circle K tournament
Oh yeah.
and the next day after the trade show. So this is a pretty cool setup. Like we did a stupid trade show. We had like the dinner awards with them. We got so much FaceTime with the people we needed to do. So they did their basically their little getaway right. But we played golf, Doug, and I'm terrible. I still shoot 100 at 45 years old, but I have fun and I
We're all
enjoy.
like 30 handicaps. It's fine, dude.
Yeah. Well,
You go out there to swing, right?
but I got friends that are not that are like
Yeah, sure.
scratch and seven handicap and they take the shit seriously. So when I go
No,
play with them, they are like, "Who brought this fucking guy?"
well,
And I'm
yeah,
like, "Hey
you
guys."
do have to balance the groups.
Right.
I have a good like I play like twice a year, and we all are in the same level. That's the key.
Yes. Right. Well, I want to play more because I live in such a great place to
You need,
play.
yeah, you should be
It's
playing because you obviously cliche, but you'll play your whole life,
right. I'll play my whole
assuming
life. I
there's golf courses.
Right. I'll play my whole life, assuming there's golf courses, and hopefully, I'm still physically able, which I take decent care of myself, other than slamming the alcohol. So,
Yes.
uh, but we're we were playing in New Mexico at 7,500 feet, Santa Fe, 85
Ooh.
degrees, but like desert, dry.
Yeah.
Didn't really feel like 85. And dude, it's second hole, and we're playing a scramble. I'm the third best of the four guys in this scramble. The three guys in the scramble besides me won the tournament last year, so I got a
Oh
lot of
wow.
pressure. And I walk
Yeah,
in
you
and
do.
I'm like, I'm I'm not good, guys. I probably shoot 100 on average, so
Was it
don't
best
expect a.
ball?
It was best ball. It was
Yeah.
so it was fun. It was fun, dude. It was a lot of fun. And
Exactly.
these two guys weren't taking it too seriously. That were actually good, but I don't think they could because we had their main contact at Circle K in the car. So I don't think that it made sense for them to shit on me or him if we fucked up a shot,
Right.
right? So it was a lot of like less pressure. But second hole, it's a par three, downhill, like probably like 200 yards downhill. Off of
That's my
like a
favorite kind.
off a ledge and then down and drop it
Mm-hmm.
on. It was like 160, and we were in altitude. And dude, I was like, I think I'm gonna hit a 5 iron, which obviously is a little much, but
It's aggressive.
I always am like a couple clubs shorter than the actual distance should be.
Especially off the
So
tee. I'm the same way.
yeah, so
For
I
some
hit
reason,
right up,
irons off a tee like messes me up.
dude. No, I actually do okay with irons off a tee. I just club it up. I just
Yeah, you got to
tee it
drop
up
that
just a
bitch.
tiny bit,
Yeah.
and dude, I stick this. This is literally the best hole I've ever played in my career. I'm going to brag about it for 2 minutes here.
Okay.
I stick this fucking shot, lands 10 feet from the cup. And then and everyone was like, "Oh, you sandbagged son of a bitch! You said you didn't want to
Yeah,
play
right.
golf." And
Who
I'm like,
brought the ringer?
"Oh," I was like, "I'm not drunk yet, and it's only the second hole, so relax, guys. It's probably the
Exactly.
best shot I've ever made in my life. Like, let's." So then they're like, "All right, we get up there, and they're like, all right, Mike, this is your hole. Sink it. Let's not even make us swing." And I fucking sank it on my putt, my 10-footer, and had my own birdie on the hole, and then it was all downhill from there. But I at least
But
got
that
to
happened.
that
Yeah.
that fucking happened, Doug. So I
That's what
got the
golf's
itch
all
now.
about.
Exactly. And now it's Father's Day weekend. Wife was like, "What do you want to do?" I was like, "I want to play golf with my friends on Saturday." And she said, "Go for it." And I was like,
Yeah.
why can't it be Father's Day every weekend? So
That's right.
out we go today. Out
Happy
we go
Father's
today.
Day. Happy Father's Day to my dad as well. Cheers.
Yes.
And
And Norm,
it yeah,
RIP.
and up to
Happy
Norm.
Father's
And
Day.
it is all about like taking away like a couple of good memories, right? Oh yeah, you shanked a couple in the woods, you lost the ball, but I hit a 25-foot birdie putt the other day after I think I hit two of the three shots. I didn't sweep the hole, but it was best ball too. And that just makes your day, right?
Makes your day. It just makes your day. So yes. So anyway, I'm back. I'm back on the golf wagon. I love it. Yay. But
Nice.
let's talk a little bit. Did we have any other stories that we were about to go down? We talked about the Arizona Ice Tea. We talked about golf. We talked about 1995 and your Jeep. Are we
Oh
missing
yeah.
any other
Well, we
things
could
that
do
we?
a whole show on that 95 in the Jeep, but
Yes.
I don't know, man.
What do you think the most played song ever in that Jeep is?
Oh,
I
what's the
think
first track on the first Rage album?
is that it? I
or,
thought I
or,
was gonna
or
say Smashing Pumpkins.
yeah.
Today is the
Yeah.
greatest
Oh,
day
okay.
I've ever
Okay.
known.
That's fair. There's a lot of Beastie Boys played in that truck.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, fucking pumpkins, god damn it. There was just a lot of K-Rock.
Yes.
That thing had a cassette player when I first got it. Obviously I upgraded it, and I got my stereo stolen from that thing like 2 or 3 times in Syracuse. Good town up there. I
Yeah.
love you. I love you, Cuse. No, it's just like, yeah, that thing went through hell. I left it out, and entire winter is parked. I oh yeah, I have a little. Here it is. My brother found this in some store. It's a replica Jeep, and it's literally the make and model. Remember this guy?
Yeah. Dude, I was sad when you told me that you put her out to
Yeah,
pasture.
it literally it was just dead. It gave up.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. End of life. End of life. End of
End of
life.
life,
But
man.
that's
But
okay.
no, it's like almost 25 years, if not 25. So it was a hell of a run.
That dude. I mean, you are the anti like car guy. Like I am.
Kind of by accident. I hate doing errands. Like I hate the suburban sprawl. I love road trips. I love driving somewhere though, and I do miss that. But like going to CVS, going to a doctor's appointment, it's like getting my hair cut yesterday. I was like getting mad at the Greenwich traffic. I'm like Friday afternoon.
You
I
are
don't
you
miss
are
it.
you're an old guy. You've turned into an old guy, my friend. God damn it! It's
I do.
2:30. Where
I'm
are all
working.
these drivers coming from? This is why I work from home. Gas is 3.49 and it's 78 degrees.
349. I feel like it's been 349 for like 20 years. So that's nothing new.
It's not a bad
But
number. It's
uh,
5:19 out here.
I know. I'm trying to do Inception on Jenny to at least upgrade her whip right now, but no luck so far. Anyway,
Well,
God,
well.
I
So
do miss driving.
do you guys share the car?
I mean, if I need it and she's home, I grab it. Um, I take advantage of rideshare apps if I need to. Depends what I'm doing.
Well,
She
usually,
works in the office 4 days a week, so 3 days out of the week there's a car here. If I need to do something, I figure it out.
So
And
why don't you guys upgrade the vehicle?
she she likes what she likes, man. She's a simple girl.
Okay.
That's why I love her.
All right.
We're just chilling, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, forgot to get married. I, I we got our cats. Hey, I proposed
Yeah.
2007. I
That,
think I need to
that,
do that again, probably.
probably. Yeah. There's a, well, you guys are like common law marriage at this point in time, right?
Yeah, I don't know the Connecticut law, but I think next year will be 20. If anyone's keeping track.
Yeah. You're definitely.
Yeah,
If you guys ever do break up, you're gonna give her half your stuff regardless. So.
ain't gonna be a car.
That's true. You might actually win out in that if that ever happened. But let's
Might get the
let's
new
hope that never
Lexus.
happens. Let's hope that never happens.
Oh no,
Oh,
we're
my
too
dog, my
lazy for
dog,
that to happen. Don't worry. Um,
my dog's throwing up over here. So we got
nice.
that going. Yeah. Hey.
Family's here. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
about dads. You know, you're there to be thrown up on. So
That's
you
happened. That's
deserve a day.
happened. That's fucking happened a few times, dude. Like, like when you first have your kid and you or people talk about first having their kid and they're like, oh, you're gonna get shit on, you're gonna get pissed on, and you're gonna get puked on. And I'm like, gross, disgusting. Like, cause that I don't know if the audience knows. I don't even know if you know, but like that is like I'm not good with bodily fluids. Like I don't need any piss on me. I don't need any puke on me, and I certainly don't need shit. Like I'm
I
not like,
mean,
oh, it's fine. I'll
other
wash my
than the
hands.
sickos out there, I don't think anyone is. But
No, but some people are like, fuck it. Like, baby took a shit.
uh,
I gotta just get it done, right? Like I
like
going in,
nurses.
yeah, like nurses. Or there's some people that they're just
Oh
that
yeah,
mentality. And I went into it with like, I don't even know how to change a diaper. I'm fucking not trying to get any shit on me, any
yeah.
bodily functions, whatever. Dude, that all changed. Like everyone was like, yeah, it'll change when you have the kid, and they were right. Like now, I'm like, oh, the
Nothing
blowouts
phases you
everywhere.
now.
No, dude, I've had shit
You've seen it all.
everywhere. I've the worst. Literally, the worst is when they project because they projectile vomit
Yeah,
sometimes,
I've
and
heard.
she's projectile
Like
vomited, and
surprise
it's
too, right?
yeah, like she'll just be like looking at me like,
And then
and it's fucking the worst part is, dude, it's milk. It's just milk, but it's like curdled milk because it's been in her stomach, and it's right, and it just smells like curdled milk, and it just all over me. And then the problem is, one time she did it in the fucking living room on the carpet. It took me 24 hours to get that smell out, and then
oh
and she's done it on me, and then
yeah.
she did it on me and Alex one time, and it got in Alex's hair, and it was so bad.
Did
She did
everybody
it.
throw up?
No,
Was it
but
chain
like
reaction?
no, 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 no. But we laid down to go to bed, and I'm like,
Oh no.
someone still smells like puke, and we had to like get up again and like wash everyone and like
Second
go back
shower,
to
go.
yes, everyone had to go take a second shower because we couldn't figure out who it was, and I'm like, I don't fucking care. I can't sleep like this. And so we finally got to bed like 4 hours later.
Uh,
That was miserable. So I've
Alex, you're
earned
getting deloused.
yes, I've earned today. I've earned
Yes.
today.
Well,
All right, 23 minutes in, and we haven't spoken a lick about sports.
I
These are
call that
usually
success. I think our
these are
record
our
is
better shows.
40.
Yes, 40. Yes. Do you want to talk about the Mets and
Yeah,
how
why
they're
not?
doing? Why
They're, they're,
not?
they're, they're, they're bouncing a little back. We can have a little celebration for him.
Sure.
Just
Yeah.
a tiny bit as a treat, right?
What do we do? We won three in a row. Is that right? After last night's win,
Something like that. But
or three out
in
of the
general,
last
it's
four?
just yeah, it was an abysmal May, right? We haven't really talked about because we've been doing football stuff. We haven't talked about the Mets really in a while. Just an
Right.
absolutely abysmal May, right?
Yeah.
Just a
Would have tanked.
disaster.
Would have tanked most team seasons.
I mean, if the NL wasn't so bad, it would have tanked the Mets season. The NL is but
Yes.
so here they are. They were 12 under. Now they're 6 under. And there's like a few games out of the wild card. I'm not looking at that race yet. It's way too early, but I hear right that they're like somehow within playoff striking
They were
distance.
so I actually did look at it the other day, and I'm going to look at it right now just so that we can be
Yeah,
factual
and
on the show.
but
Because
in the meantime, there's been a couple of fun wins. Obviously, the JD Martinez walk off the other night, and then
yeah, so
I
we
had that.
are
We were watching them. Oh, go ahead.
So we are 6 games under at 31 and 37,
Yep,
and we are 3 games out of the second wild card, right?
it's
Or the
wild.
third wild card. What is it? Three teams get in, right?
I'm so old, I forget.
Yeah. So there's like
There was
three
one year when there were
teams.
7, right? But it's back to 6.
It's at 6 now. So,
Okay.
but the problem is there's one, two, three, four, five, 6 teams ahead of us in
It's a
within
huge
that three
cluster of
games.
garbage.
Correct. So every team they're in the National League, there's only one, two, three, four, 5 teams over 500 out of 5, 6, 7,
Yeah.
8,
Oh,
9,
it's the
10,
NL
12,
is
13, 14. Out of 15. So only a
NL.
33% of the teams are over 500.
I don't know what's
So,
going on. I guess the AL is eating their lunch in
well,
interleague, but
it's that new, yeah, it's that new like schedule where
yeah.
it's you play every team home and home, and I think that's pretty much it, right?
I mean,
There's not a
I
lot
yeah,
of.
I don't want to go down this path, but once you're doing this, it's probably eventually they're going to realign, and they might still call it ALNL, but yeah, you know they're going to mess with it, right?
I don't know. I mean,
Like put the Yankees, Red Sox, Mets, Phillies, same division.
I don't know, man. I doubt it because it's just been such long-standing history, and Manfred has proven he's not really. Oh, slam some Arizona iced tea.
You want to help?
Manfred has proven he's not really ahead of the curve on these things. He usually plays catch up. We've got a lot of old school things that are still in place. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
I,
You are
I
so.
I I look at it differently. I feel like he doesn't give a shit about tradition,
Mm.
and he's been pulling it this way. No more DH, which fine.
I think
Some other
that was
things.
long. I think that was long overdue, and that was more a bargaining chip for the collective bargaining agreement.
It was.
Uh,
Yeah, you're right, and
um,
I don't think. I guess no one's missing the easy out.
no, it got
So
to a point where it was dumb, right? It was like, okay, no, none of these pitchers know how to hit anymore, and it's
I know, right? And so I actually like I've come around to that. I've come around to the 3 batter pitching thing. That bothered me at first. I've come around to the like trying to encourage steals and speed up the game. It's actually kind of working, although baseball's still boring. Don't worry, guys. um, it's always a second screen appearance, or it's usually second screen for me unless I'm like sitting at work. Like last night, I was watching Godzilla -1 with Jenny while I was watching Edwin Diaz save the
which
game.
is
So
what is Godzilla -1? Is that the one that was?
highly recommend. It's the one that
It,
came out. It is all in Japanese, so it's subtitled, but it's like I don't watch all that. I'm not like a kaiju guy, but like it's really well done. I actually have to. We didn't make it through. We have like half hour left, but
yeah, that
highly
was on
recommend.
Netflix,
It's
correct?
on Netflix, and we watched Hitman this week too, which
We
yeah,
started it.
you guys might like
didn't
it.
we didn't quite finish it yet. I
Yeah.
did see Dune 2 though on the flight to and from. Did you
Oh, on a
see Dune
flight.
2?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't ideal.
It's
So
the
when I got home
smallest
I
screen possible.
yeah, so when I got home I bought well cuz I
It's
knew that
on.
my wife would not be like let's watch Dune
Yeah.
2. So I had to watch it when I had a chance. And then it was so good I got home and I bought the Dune 1 and 2 on Apple
Oh,
TV,
dude, yeah. It's
and now I'm like trying to get her. I'm like, babe, we should watch Dune and Dune 2. It's awesome. And she was like, I'm down. I put on Dune 1.
she like it.
In 10 minutes in, she
No,
was like, I don't really know what's going on here. And
it doesn't
she's like,
matter. Just go with it.
she's like, what's
Just
spice? And I was like, they
just
just
look at
literally
Jason Momoa and all that,
I was like,
and
they
and
literally
Timothy.
just said what fucking spice is. Like, it's the most. It's the most.
It's they're
It
mining
was like,
flavor crystals. That's all you need
yeah,
to know.
it's Crystal Light took over the universe. Oh my god! So I
um,
was like, all right, you could care less. So I'm gonna watch this in my downtime when you're
yeah,
gone.
that's it. That stuff happens, but I was surprised. I got Jenny to watch the Godzilla movie mostly because I just put it on after we watched. She wanted so we watched Hitman, and then she's like, "I want to watch Top Gun." I was like, "Okay," because that
Yeah,
guy is
Glenn
Hangman.
Powell. Yeah,
Yep.
Glenn
So
Powell. Yeah.
so yeah, so we did the Top Gun to Godzilla double feature last night. It was a good time, real good time. With
Wow.
with the Mets on the iPad muted. That's
Wow.
my life. I
It's
like
pretty
it.
impressive. Yeah, that's not bad.
I
I
mean, we
that
didn't finish Godzilla, but yeah, that was good. It was like, and we had like 3 drinks. It was civilized,
I
over
like
like
it.
4 hours.
I like it, dude. That sounds kind of perfect. We went last night to an outdoor like concert, like dinner thing, and
Yeah,
we brought the
that's what we
baby.
need to do more of.
We brought the baby, and we were there for 2 hours. I spent an hour and 45 minutes chasing my fucking toddler around, and because my wife
Yeah.
has a torn calf muscle, so
Oh, right.
yeah, so I was just like basically making sure she didn't run into the pond or roll
Yeah.
down the hill or
You had one job.
yeah. So I had 15 minutes to eat. I slammed a couple of drinks, and I got sunburnt, and then came home at 7:30. Put the baby to bed, but the baby is still sleeping to this moment, so it
Oh
worked.
shit.
It worked. It
Look
worked.
at that. It's almost 8:30. Yeah, you
Yeah.
tired her out.
Yeah, she. Oh no, she woke up. Okay, she's awake now. Well, that was she had to get up early with her.
Well, we
But
need to
yeah,
ask her about Brett Beatty playing second base. So if you can get her on here. Um,
what? So let's talk about that for a second. They're making Beatty play second down in Syracuse to try and learn a position, which leads me to believe they're more interested in trading McNeil than they are. Because my first reaction would
wouldn't
be,
you?
well, yeah, he's been terrible the last two
He's
years.
got
Ever since
600 OPS, man. It
you called it,
sucks.
since the shift was brought into eliminated, he has not been able to hit the ball not in the shift. Um, and he's 30. I think he's 31 now at this point. So he's
Yeah.
he's he's not old, but he's
He was an
definitely
older rookie though when he came up, right?
yeah. I think
He
he
was
was
like
26
26
when
or
he came up.
27. Yeah.
Yeah, and we signed him to this like 4 year, 12 million a year, which we thought was a bargain at the time. But ever since he signed that deal,
It
he's
seemed like he was the batting champ or something,
yeah,
right?
he just hasn't
So,
done anything. So
I
I
mean,
don't
like
know,
he
man.
got paid, but yeah, I don't think Beatty is going to be like they're going to make him like a full-time second baseman, but I think they want him to have those skills because yeah, he's hitting
Get it?
500 in AAA. He there's no point in having him there. So and
Well, so I have
by
a
the way,
thought on this.
Mia Copa on Mark Vientos, he has cut that K rate down, and he's not getting roasted by high heat anymore. He can hang with it. Like he
Who
went from
you
30% to
you
20% K rate this year, and he's not getting beat up high with the heat. He's completely changed his profile. I was wrong. Good job, kid.
You, I like when you humble yourself, sir. You
Yeah.
twice this year about the Mets, you've been wrong so far.
What was the other
Vientos and
one?
the record.
Not over yet, baby.
Not over yet. Not over yet.
We're going on a fucking tear.
As soon as we put Beatty at second base.
That's right. Although, what sucks is like we can talk about whatever you want for the next half hour about the Mets. I'm just like this. He's got me firing, but they're probably going to trade Sevy, right? I mean, he's been good.
I mean, I would think so. So
Maybe extend him,
let's
man.
let's move this way. I think this is where I want the conversation to go to, because I think they're going to trade. I don't think, even if we're in it at the deadline, like we have too
Yeah.
many guys on 1 year deals that are going to be worth more when we trade them than to any
Yes.
fucking potential postseason run that
And
gets us
Christian Scott's
maybe.
waiting.
Yeah, well, like not even Christian Scott, but just Tyler McGill and David Peterson are
Yeah.
performing admirably, right? You can get rid of Quintana, who's been
Please.
fucking awful this year.
He's a
You
black
can
hole.
get
Yeah.
you can get rid of, yeah, he's like the pitcher that's coming up
He's going to
at
be the
nine
streak stopper today. I hate it. I looked to see who was pitching today, and I'm like, oh no, Q.
yes. And then
Yeah.
Mania last night had another good outing. That's another guy that we can probably move.
Yeah.
Severino, I would extend him. I mean, he's still only 29, but I don't know what he's going to want.
I
We
would too.
definitely we need a guy. We're going to need arms next year, because McGill and Peterson are the only two guys, and Senga, but I think Senga can opt out after this year, or maybe it's after next year.
He's not because he could have, I think, if he had been pitching, but he's not now because um,
He's not going to have enough innings to pull the trigger on
he's
that.
probably not going to get like a contract coming off of TJ
Is he
unless
getting TJ? Is that?
or like whatever's going on here, you
Yeah,
know?
don't
Like
put
I
this
don't
ether into the universe yet, buddy. Like, no, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. So, if
you know
I
me.
will say, if they wait until fucking whatever, like any at this point now, to fucking then have TJ, like that is the
Oh, I
most
know.
Mets thing, the most Mets thing
It
ever. Like,
like nothing's changed.
why didn't you just do this in
Right.
April or fucking March or whenever
Yeah.
the hell his
Late
shit was?
mid-March, right? Is when they shut him down.
Right. When was the
Um,
last? Who was? Wasn't this Degrom like a couple years ago? Same shit. Like I feel
the,
like we're taking crazy pills.
I feel like all of us have blocked out the DeGrom saga. That was such a weird tale. We should do a show on it late sometime.
If
It,
you look at it now, if you look at it in like hindsight, he needed TJ, and they were trying
yeah,
to push him through that
right.
last year because they knew he needed TJ, and he was coming into the last year of his deal, and they were like, "Well, let's see," and I'm sure he agreed, like, "Let's try and get me through the year." And that
Yeah,
way I can get a
but
big contract. And that's why they didn't fucking sign him. And he
I
needed Tommy
agree.
John like 30 seconds after he landed in
And
fucking
buyer
Texas.
beware, Texas, right? But like that was the
Well,
year
they
he
had
came
to
back
know
in
it
like
too.
July, right?
But they had to know it too. Like you
Yeah.
give a guy a physical when you fucking sign him. So they
Oh
must
yeah.
have offered him this crazy deal. Did the fucking physical, and they were like,
I
they
mean,
still
the
won the
Mets,
fucking World Series anyway. So
they did with Max too. But yeah, the Mets offered Jake some money though, didn't they? And
I
and
don't think
Texas just
so.
offered more. I thought they might have.
I don't think so, man. I think he was gone. I think if you go back and look, I don't even think we offered him a contract. I
Well,
think
that
we
was Wheeler.
no, I don't even think we offered DeGrom a
And
contract.
by the way, the internal scouting for the Mets has sucked ass maybe longer than the last 10 years, but like let's talk about this. Uh Wheeler's one of the best pitchers in baseball. They let him walk.
Right.
Stroman, Walker, Bassett, and Williams are all pitch. Lugo, all five of those guys are pitching at almost an all-star level this year. Ouch.
Right. But hold on. Again,
You couldn't have
let's
retained one of those guys, two of those guys.
was that the year that Cohen took over, or was he already in charge when
This is like
Bassett and Walker
this is
left?
a 4-year spread of when each of those guys left. So
So Wheeler was Brody
Wheeler's Will Ponds.
and the Wilpons.
That
That
was
I
that
blame.
was their parting
That's
gift.
the that I blame on the Wilpons. Okay,
Yeah, I agree.
Stroman talked his way out of
Right.
New York.
I
He's
almost
just
didn't include Stroman. I almost didn't, but
Stroman's on his third team since he left, and he's a fucking cancer. He runs his mouth too much,
he
and
still pitches well, man.
he pitched well when he was here, but like that,
Hmm.
I don't blame him for that. Walker, I think we could have offered a contract to. Bassett, I think we could have offered a contract to.
Hmm.
I think that it was more these guys
Williams
are
is out of nowhere. I'll give him that.
Trevor Williams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's having a
And
really good year.
okay, so Trevor Williams cool out of nowhere. Seth Lugo, we've all known he's had a partially torn UCL forever. So
Yeah,
good for him that he still figured out how to pitch and not fuck it up. But like you knew what he was, and you weren't going to pay him to be a starter. And there was a reason we kept him as a reliever because he had a torn UCL, and we're trying to get usage out of him. These are opinions of me, right?
right.
So
Uh,
I don't shit on those things. I will say
It just sucks
Bassett,
that all five of these things happened. I think is my point. Like
yeah.
you can make a case for each of them, but
Right.
it's like
And I think they just didn't want to pay like Bassett wanted like a 5 year deal, and I think he got a 4 year deal, and Walker
he might
wanted
only
a
got a
five.
3. But yeah, I'll
I think
check.
I'm,
Yeah, maybe it's
and
4.
I think Walker got
Walker
uh
got 3
yeah. They both got a little bit longer term than the Mets wanted to pay for people that pitchers that were over 30.
because we
So
were doing
maybe they
Verlander, Max, and Jake. I mean, yeah,
right,
that,
right.
that was that
So
was the choice, I guess.
right, and so hindsight's 2020 on that. We're in a year where
I just feel
we
like they should have
are
kept one of the mid guys just to stabilize this rotation. That's
we
all.
did we got Quintana, who's been like the what was that fucking Jed Lowry of our pitching staff.
Yeah.
So
Oh God, that guy.
because didn't Quintana not pitch until like August of last year, and then since he's come back, he's been fucking butt. Yeah,
Or he missed like all of no, you're right. It was he wasn't on the 22 team, was he?
No, we
Yeah,
signed him last year to replace like
that's right. And
some
he
of the
didn't pitch
guys.
till July. Yeah,
And
great.
yeah, we signed we signed Senga and Quintana because we wanted to get we didn't want to pay what we were paying Max and Verlander. We didn't want to pay,
Like
I guess
Bassett
these other
and
guys. Right.
Bassett and
Right.
Walker. I understand. It sucks that they're all like thriving.
Right. So
And
and I don't think it's
we're
the
trying to
internal
talk
stuff.
ourselves into Peterson and I guess McGill and Buto, but you know,
I don't. So I think roster construction under David Stearns is different than it was under Sandy and the two alcoholic,
and
pedophiles
Billy.
and
Yeah.
and Brody and whoever the
Oh, it's
fuck.
been a good time. I forgot Brody
Right,
too. There's so many
right, right,
GMs.
right. Exactly. So like that whole blur is a fucking disaster, right? And so
It was
anything
a
that
mess.
happened under those
Yeah.
guys, I don't really care about. Like,
All
Epler
right.
was okay for the last 2 years, and even even
You
we
hated
traded him.
Epler since
I
that
fucking hate
22
I
deadline.
and I wasn't wrong. He was
You
such a
weren't.
pussy. He was such a pussy at that deadline, and I
Yeah.
can't imagine that Cohen didn't
Malpractice.
tell him. He was like, I think we could, look at the team now. I look at the team 5 years down the road. Fuck you, fuck you. If you had gone and gotten Contreras
Yeah.
because our catcher that year was McCann and fucking Nito, and it was a fucking black hole. And I know he was like, oh, Francisco Alvarez is coming, and that probably, and I will say, probably everyone asked for Alvarez and all these other fucking top line guys. But look at Maurizio's not even fucking playing this year. Who
Yeah,
are the
that
other guys? Who
sucks.
are the other guys that were on that list of, like, we were saying they were untouchable, right? Who are the other players? It was Vientos and
Pardon me.
Beatty, who are like, Vientos is finally putting it together at 24 years old, and
Yeah.
Beatty still can't hit at the major league level for whatever reason. I think that may change, and I think they still believe in him, but I think it's all in between his ears right now.
He the swing, maybe it comes around, but he hits balls into the dirt, and that they've been
Or
trying to fix it.
right.
Uh,
So
but
so
so yeah, no,
let's
he absolutely dropped the ball. Sorry, we can go back to this year's team. I just
yeah, let no, that was a good diatribe. But
because I was thinking about
here's
how Sevy maybe should stay
I
because
think
of
you
shit
kind of
like
got to
this.
think about it, right? Because like you said,
Yeah,
Quintana's gone whether we trade him or not.
yeah. Please,
We're not
no
resigning him,
Hauser.
right? Hauser's gone whether we trade him or not. So
Mania
that's
might be
two.
around next year if he wants to
Manaya's
stay.
got
I
a
think he
player
has an
option.
option. Yeah,
He's got a player option. If he keeps pitching the way he's pitching, he's probably going to opt out and go see what's out there because
we'll see.
it's only 10 million, right?
And you, so you could also trade him too. So
I think that makes more sense. So I'll get some.
mhm.
Let me give you my whole rundown here. And you got Peterson, McGill, and Buto and Scott, right? And then
Yes,
hopefully Senga's healthy, and a guy like Severino makes a lot of sense to re-up, right? Because of those three guys, Buto's still in the minor leagues, Scott's still in the minor leagues. McGill and Peterson have never proven that they can do it for a full season.
no.
McGill's fucking best friend is the injured list, and Peterson,
Peterson too.
yeah, I mean, neither one of them have stayed healthy
I'd be
for a year.
surprised if either's ever made 20 starts. I'm not looking that up, but I'd be surprised if either has.
I can
Maybe
guarantee you,
McGill.
McGill has not made 20 starts. Peterson
Yeah,
might. Let's look it up, Doug. Let's
yeah. Why
look it
not?
up. Let's look it up.
So like Buto's too good for AAA, just like Beatty.
Right,
But
and I think,
I think Scott's the
so.
legit major league
So
top.
Peterson has made 21 starts last year,
Uh,
and he made 19 the year before, but he did a bunch of relief appearances too.
wrong. Damn, I was
But
close.
I don't think Tyler McGill has.
Yeah, neither
And
of them have.
Peterson might also be a free agent after this year. Tyler McGill, also
Peterson,
28.
he debuted in 20, so they might still
This
have
is
control.
this is McGill's fourth year. He has let's see, games started. He did make 25 starts last year, so I will
Oh
give him
wow,
pro on that.
that's take it
They
back.
both did last year. Okay. So anyway, I think if neither of them are free agents, they're fourth, fifth starters. Buto's a fifth starter. You roll the dice with those two guys on the back end of your rotation. But
Because you hope that Sproat, Tidwell, some of these guys coming up, are also knocking on the door. I mean, it looks like Vasil and Hamill might not be starters, but it's a decent pipeline. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I think what I want to talk about is what do we do this year? We're 3 games out. We're 6 games under. It's June 15th,
Yeah,
right? We got
we've
about
been here before. We've been
we've
here a
got
lot.
6 weeks. We got 6 weeks, and a lot can happen in 6 weeks. But we got 6 weeks to make a lot of big decisions that are going to really paint paint the picture of
Yeah,
where this
yeah.
organization is going to go in the next
Stearns
three to three to
needs to
five
earn his
years.
money, because if you screw like, here's a way you can screw this up. You can trade PCA for Javi Baez, and yes, that team
Right,
was sort of in first and contending, but ouch. So
right.
yeah, no, this is not easy. Stearns has his work cut out for him.
So if it's me, I think that. No, did I lose
Sorry,
you?
my audio cut out for a second. What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
it's been doing that.
Okay, so if it's me, I think you go full fire sale because we don't have the pitching to go, in my opinion, we don't have the pitching to go deep into a long playoff run, right? And I think
I agree
that
with that.
you have the biggest bat on the market. And oh, are we going Arizona part 2? What is this?
Spindrift spiked. Spindrift spiked. What does that
They
say?
were
Blood
also
orange?
yeah, they were also at the Circle K. I did not try the spiked. I did not. Yes.
Thank you, my crack production staff that's led by Jenny Ray. Thank you. I have to pay them scale, but they're worth it.
Yes.
What's up?
So I think you go full fire sale at the end of the year this year.
Including Sevi.
If you can re-sign Sevi because he's 29 and he's looks like he's back, and whatever was ailing him the last couple of years, it looks like the alcoholism and whatever else issues he had, it looks like he's back on track. Well, he had
It,
that issue.
everybody has issues. Was it only alcohol, or did he like slap anyone around?
I think it was only alcohol, but maybe he
Okay,
slapped
that's
someone
good.
around. But the guy has a major league arm. He's got a major league pitcher's body. Like he looks like he's ready to go another 3 to 5 years.
I
You get him.
totally agree. He looks.
Yeah.
I know it's a trap because he gets hurt a lot, but I totally agree.
But before he got hurt for the last 2 years, he was one of the best pitchers in the American League.
Yeah,
So I think it's worth taking the gamble, and you maybe lock him up for a 3 year, like 45 million, $50 million
yeah,
deal, something like that.
like a
And I
Chris
think he,
Bassett deal. Yeah.
yeah, and I think he would do something along those lines, and that would be helpful. And hope. Sorry, my dog is choking on something, and I don't know if you can hear that or not, but
Oh yeah, I heard something just now, choking on his own puke or something.
yeah, he's coughing up. He's coughing something up over here.
Oh, hairball.
But yeah, I think you keep Severino. You hope that Senga's all right and can just right himself. You deal Quintana, you deal Minaya, and you roll with McGill, Peterson, and Buto for the rest of the year this year. And then you spend big on someone in the offseason. I don't know who's available, but whoever's out there, you go after and get yourself an ace.
I don't hate it. I again, I think I didn't mean to make this point, but I made it. I think they should keep Sevy. That's
Yes.
all. So,
And
okay, we agree, and I think Scott's going to get more innings this year as
right,
well.
right.
I think right now McGill and Peterson are auditioning who gets to stay, maybe.
Right. I mean, you need guys at the 4 or 5, even three,
Yeah,
4 or 5 of your roster
you
that
do.
don't make a ton of money, and maybe Scott is your 3 next year.
I'm saying I think it's okay if your three guy does make a little bit of money though. Like
I'm
you
not.
can't
I'm
bare
not.
bones this.
I'm not opposed to it, but maybe Christian Scott is your 3 next year. You bring
Oh
him
yeah,
up and bring him along
that's
slow.
ideal.
Yes, and we're getting a lot of money off the books this year.
We
So
are
then,
finally.
so if you can then move, we've talked about the rotation. If you can anyone out of the bullpen, I don't care who you trade out of the bullpen. The bullpen fluctuates year over year. It was nice to see Edwin back last night and throwing 100
Yes.
miles an hour and being his self. So maybe he did just need a little 15-day stint on the DL. Yeah, I think it was between the ears. Yeah, I think so too. I think he didn't pitch for a year because the World Baseball Classic was so important. So another thing that
You're never gonna let that go. Speaking of old men,
dude, it is the dumbest thing ever. It is so dumb.
oh,
It's
so
so
how do you
dumb.
feel about this Olympics thing, like pausing in season to play the Olympics?
Is that what's happening this year?
There was a poll in the Athletic where they polled players, and it was about a 50-50 split. No, talking about 2028.
I think
Wait,
I
would you
don't I
lose your mind if if a bunch of
I
Mets were like
think I
going
think
full
it's
out in like late July, August?
I think yeah, I think so. I think you got to do it at the end of the year, man.
It would
And
drive you crazy, right?
you got to do it at the end of the year, and you got to put innings limits on everybody, or
Yeah,
what the
somehow.
fuck,
Yeah, and then
right?
it's kind of a weird game then. So yeah, I
But
don't know
think
how you
about
do it
think
either.
all right. Think maybe you don't need to put in innings limits on it, but for pitchers, I think you kind of do. It's a nature of the game. But like think about right now, the Euros are going on and the
Yeah,
Concacaf is going on.
right.
You know why? And it's weird because I guess I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth. The European
You
season
love the
is
soccer
over,
when soccer does this shit,
but the
right?
European season's over, right? The European
Oh, is
they
it?
do
Oh, no,
pause
that's right.
midseason. They do pause
For other
midseason
shit.
for other shit. They do. So maybe you do it in the middle of the season, but the MLS season is in full swing right now, and they're pausing that so that they
Well,
can go
no
do
one
all
cares about
these.
that. No, I'm kidding.
I do, I do.
I'm
You should
kidding.
get into it, man. It's so much fucking
I,
better
I
than
I
baseball.
should. I just like the New York teams. I don't like think to even follow. Like, should I follow a New York team or should I like just adopt the Austin whoever's?
I
That's
think
my brother. They,
you can make that decision on your own, but you should go to an NYCFC game
okay.
and check them out. I mean,
Yeah.
they're so there's the Red Bulls.
Right.
They play in Jersey though, and they've been
I'm
around
not doing that.
forever.
Yeah.
But so yeah, so I don't know. They're owned. I think they're part of that whole Red Bull conglomerate that owns like RB Leipzig and RB Austria and whatever.
hmm
But then
But they play
there's
at the Meadowlands. I'm not going.
they have their own stadium. They have their own stadium
Oh,
there, but
that's
it's
right. Yeah, that's right.
I think it's still near the Meadowlands or at the
Yeah.
Meadowlands. But then there's New York City FC, which is I think they played at Yankee Stadium for a while,
I
but
know
I
they
don't know.
did. I forget if they still do. They might have gotten their own
They got their own stadium
place.
too, I think, but they're owned by Man City, I believe, and um, I would follow them because they're the new upcoming team. Oh, you don't like Man? You're a Liverpool guy. I
I'm a
don't know.
Liverpool guy. No, I mean,
Yeah,
I very loose allegiances here. What's the name of the Austin MLS team again?
Austin
Because
FC,
oh, was that it? Because I know people who tailgate and like go to all the games and get really into it. It seems like a ton of fun.
dude.
Um,
LAFC is the
yeah,
funnest team out here. You so it's at the Coliseum. They built the stadium right next to the Coliseum, and there's this big park there, and literally like you can it's like tailgate city. You get to the park,
yeah. Oh,
and
it seems like a great scene.
it's not in a nice part of town, but it's like no one fucks with you there, right? Like the cops are there and whatever, and you can drink. You know, they let you drink beers as long as you're not being an idiot. Like drink your beers, throw them in the
Got food
trash. You're fine.
trucks.
They got everything, and then you go into the game, and dude, they have like so. I've been to a game in Colombia, you know, Medellin, Colombia,
Wow.
the stadium Escobar built,
When did
and
you go? When was that?
like 2 years ago,
Oh wow,
2 years ago,
nice.
and dude, they just they chant from the moment
Yeah.
the first whistle goes until
Oh
halftime,
yeah.
and then the second half starts until the game's over. And LAFC does the same thing. They have a whole section dedicated to They have a place where they built it in the stadium where you can put your drums in and then bang your drums all game long, right? So it's fucking
Americans are
crazy, man.
tame in so many respects. We're such.
No, this was
Mm.
at LAFC, dude. Like, and
Oh, I know,
LAFC's
but they're bringing that culture, right? Because that's how they roll down there, right?
yes. So
And
I don't know,
and
man.
Europe's the same way with the constant chance. Like we don't
Constant
really do
chance.
that in any
Well,
sports, do we?
but that's
A
because
little bit in college football, but
our sports take pauses. It's like top of the
yeah,
first, then we
yeah.
got a 3 minute commercial break. Bottom of the first,
Oh, that's a
then
great
we got a
point.
5 minute commercial break. Fucking, that's why I like soccer. The first half starts, you don't get a commercial till halftime. Second half starts, then the game's
Yeah,
over, and they make all their They make all their marketing in the game, like on the scoreboard, on the fucking sidelines, or at halftime. And come on, man, it's the biggest sport in the
Yeah.
world for a reason.
And the only comparable American sport is football, and yeah, which is the complete opposite in terms of timeouts,
I mean, how
as you
many
mentioned.
fucking commercials are
Oh,
there in football? They have
it's
they have
brutal.
literally TV timeouts built
Yeah,
into the game. Like,
right.
it's dumb,
Plus all
dude.
the reviews and I
And
mean,
they
they
have that.
review everything now.
They have that in soccer too. And I
They
think
do,
in
but I love putting on a soccer match because exactly like you said, there's gonna be no commercials for 45 minutes. That's my
right, and
perfect
the
background.
game just goes. So,
Yeah.
dude, do me a favor. The Euros just started yesterday.
Yeah, dude, I should get into this.
Watch a little Euro
What team should I
football.
pick? Is Ireland in it? Well, we're gonna get smacked if we are, but I
Let's
know
take a look.
Hungary's in it. I know Italy and I'm sorry, England and France are the favorites, right?
England is the favorite. Let's see. Let's see right here. You got Spain and
Yeah. Let's
Croatia.
find me a team. Who are you guys rooting for?
Switzerland lost to Hungary, or Switzerland beat Hungary today. Germany beat
Oh,
Scotland yesterday. That was the kickoff. It's in Germany.
Scotland's in.
Denmark, Slovenia, Albania, Italy, Netherlands, Poland,
Oh,
Croatia,
I usually go for the orange team, Netherlands here.
Netherlands.
We'll go with them.
Yeah,
They like the Mets. They always disappoint, right? They're like decently talented, but never win shit.
yeah. France is going to be good. Belgium's always good. Let's
Yeah,
see. England. England, I think, is the favorite.
I can't root for England, and I'm not rooting for France.
I don't see Ireland
Maybe
in here.
Spain. I've been to Spain. Yay, go
There
Spain.
you go. There you go. Yeah,
No,
Scotland.
I've been to the Netherlands too, so I'm going Dutch. We got the
Okay,
orange. Let's
there you
go.
go.
Let's roll.
There you go. But dude,
Yeah, I will check
it's
the schedule. Although I'm going to the pool after this. It's too nice out.
yeah. Go to the pool, but when you come back in, throw some Euro soccer on and
Mm.
enjoy your afternoon.
Oh, that
So,
sounds
but
lovely.
anyway, we got down a fucking soccer rabbit hole there. We
Who
Mets.
cares? Yeah, man.
Mets. We need to. What do you think? We're gonna trade this guy. That's really where I was trying to get to. We're gonna trade this guy. We're gonna trade
Mm.
McNeil because we didn't talk about the offense. We're gonna trade Marte. We're gonna trade Bader. What are we doing here?
We're trading JD, I think, because
Definitely.
that opens up. Then you can bring Beatty back and
Or
give
you
it
can, or you can put Beatty at third and put Vientos at first and trade Pete,
and trade Pete.
which is what I'm thinking. So the only
So
reason I wanted to say this earlier was why are you giving Beatty second base reps? Because that made the most sense. Put Vientos could be your first baseman, and you could put Beatty back at third. So are we
I think I
trying
agree.
to
It's
sign
kind
this
of a
guy?
smoke screen or like a utility emergency thing. They're not. And by the way, I don't think they've given up on Luis Angel Cunha. He's kind of up and down this year, but you think he's going to be in play for second. So hey, anyway, Pete, I love the guy, but he was on a superstar level in 2022. He was. He was like a 5 WAR guy with his bat only, if you like that stat. Since then, he hasn't been. Um, it's going to suck, but we've been through this before with guys leaving. Yeah, you're both of our attitudes has changed on this in the last 18 months, right? Remember, I was like,
I
I don't care what the money is. I don't care what the numbers are. Pizza guy, you have to sign forever. I kind of see the argument now. And he's not doing himself any favors. Maybe it's too much pressure on himself.
I
What do
I
you think?
think I think our window we missed our window, and I think it's kind of McNeil and Pete. By the time we get to be where we want to be again, they're going to be 2 to 3 years older than they already are,
Yeah.
and you might as well get them at the top of their value to someone else to build with that window, if that makes sense. Like, we're not competing. I told you we weren't competing this year. We might sneak in the wild card. Even if we do, we're not doing anything. You know, I think next year is going to be a lot of the same because I think we're going to have a lot of young guys. I think we're going to ancillarily spend next year, but I don't think we're going to. I don't think we're fixing this overnight. This is like
I think
a
that's where
three
you and I
year.
differ. And that's why I predicted 90 years. I think Stearns might be more aggressive. But if not, yeah,
I think
I
I
can get
think that
behind this.
I think he wants to set the foundation. And I
Yeah,
think that's why he spent a lot of money on 1 year deals in his first off season. And he was like, there's no depth in this organization. And he went out and that was the one thing he really worked on was the depth this year. And
which he's done a
and
good job of.
he has our AAA team has players on it that if someone got hurt, we could call them up. You know what I mean?
And the
It's,
Double A. By the way, have you seen what Ryan Clifford did last night? Oh my God!
and
And
dude,
he's 20 years old at Double A.
and that might be the guy that they're like, fuck it, we can put Vientos at first, Beatty at third,
Yeah,
and wait for Clifford to get here to put
but
him at
here's the
first in
thing,
two
like
years.
but by the way, it really sucks that Gilbert and Jet basically aren't playing this year. That's
Right,
really bad, and maybe
right.
that's
And
why you're
Maurizio.
yeah, and Maurizio, and maybe that's why you're right. Maybe next year isn't a we're back baby year. I'm
It's gonna
holding out
be
hope that they might do some things, but yeah, I mean, if we're talking about trading Pete, you're right.
I think that next year, I think we're going to try and move Pete. I think we're gonna try and move McNeil. I think we're gonna try and move
Yeah, good luck.
Marte. I
Yeah,
think we're gonna try and move Marte. I think we're gonna try and move. We're gonna move Bader. He's gone. And I think that we'll put Vientos at first. We're gonna move JD, and you're gonna see Taylor in center. You're gonna see Nimmo in left, and you're gonna see Stewart in right to finish the year. You're gonna have
ouch.
Vientos
This
at first.
sucks.
You're probably gonna see Acuna come up and play second with Lindor and Beatty, and then you're gonna have Alvarez as your catcher,
Oh, hey,
and you're gonna
your team tank. Okay,
and you're gonna run
you
the rest
rack
of the
up more
year out
assets.
and you're gonna run out the rest of the year. You're gonna sign a bunch of fucking guys retreads that can
Here's
fill your bench out.
so
And
this is my point with all the assets. There's such thing as having too many. When it gets too crowded, then guys don't get at bats. I think it's imperative that you also send some out for savvy deals. So
why?
sure, you can trade these vets, but like, where's everybody going to play? And a prospect is only a prospect for a little bit, and then and then they're not.
Right, but I would
Like
rather.
Brett Beatty.
Right, but you're not. What do you? Nobody on this team in the prospect pool. None of them have. They all have zero value right now. Maybe you could get something for
Well,
Jet
that's what I'm
Williams, but
saying.
you're
Like
getting
the
10
Jed
cents on the
and the
dollar.
Gilbert thing is. I'm not
10
saying
cents on the
trade.
dollar.
I'm not
The
saying
only guy
trade those. Dude, I'm not trying to say trade those guys. I'm like, why are we getting more of those guys if we already have some of those guys? And yet,
because
but
I'll tell you
again,
why.
like because the injuries have screwed this up. They
Right.
really have.
That's where I'm going with all this. You go get
All right.
more, you get some good stuff for Pete. You see what you can get from McNeil, you see what you can get from Marte, Bader, Manaya,
And then
all
see
these
what you have
guys.
next year.
Yes. And then next year is a year where you really clean the fucking books and you just see what you have. You let Vientos either play DH or first, you let Beatty play third, you play Acuna play second. You know, even though Gilbert, may have missed uh is going to miss a good portion of this year.
Oh,
Maybe he
dude,
comes
yeah.
up halfway
It
through
seems like
next
he
year.
needs surgery if he's out this long for a hamstring, man. That's not good.
Yeah, and Williams just said he's getting the wrist surgery, which is going to keep him
Uh,
out for a couple of months. But you can
yeah.
go sign a couple other guys to like backfill, and you see what you got next year. And I don't know who you're bringing in these deals, but you let those guys play too if there's any of them that are ready, and you let some of these other guys at AAA take that next step. You fill it out with some depth guys, and you see what you got. And then going into 2026, that's when you fucking okay. We know we have Acuna is solid second baseman. We've got Lindor. Vientos is our third baseman. Alvarez is our catcher. We got a hole in center and whatever, and you go spend that money there. And that way, all that pitching also gets a chance to get it. It's a year under their belt. And I think next year is going to be another butt year to watch. And it's
So
fine.
so in other words, they have to sell this to Mets fans again that they're going to suck. Mets fans.
I mean, we've sucked for the last however many years. Like we've had 2 good years since 2014. So, yeah, it's not like we don't come back. If you put a good product on the field, we're gonna eventually come back. You and I will be the first one. I'm still going to a game this year. I'm still going to 3 games this year. I'm going to fucking. I went to the Dodger game already. I'm going to 4 games. I went to the Dodger game. I'm going to the Angel game. I'm going to the Padre game, and I'm going to the Cincinnati game with you when I
Because you
come
love them.
home.
It's funny because I'm your way about the Isles. I think they should tear that shit down, but I don't think you need to keep rebuilding this Mets team. I just have a feeling they. And by the way, are we getting Soto?
I mean, if we can, that would be nice.
If Pete's
If we
out the
can,
door,
if you can get a 25-year-old, 26-year-old right fielder, right-handed, and you got to give him, 15 years to
just
come in the
money.
door,
Yeah,
yeah, and money, yes, you do that, and then
that
you
changes your plan.
that definitely changes your plan, and maybe then you can use some of these guys. But the what I was going to say before about Maurizio Gilbert, even
Yeah,
Beatty, the only guy that has any value right now is Vientos. Maybe he's worth a relief pitcher. He's not getting you anything. He still hasn't proven
right.
anything.
But we have like guys like Jesus Baez, Ronald Hernandez coming up. There's like the pipeline's strong.
It's
You know,
getting stronger.
you're gonna make it crowded, but that's fine, I guess. Like Vargas, who am I forgetting? There's some really good like shit. Morabito looks like Brett Butler too
Yes.
down there. So
Yes.
there's a
So
lot of cool shit
hopefully,
going on. So
so
we'll
hopefully we
see.
can
I
get to
mean,
the point where we can trade some of these guys. But I just don't think we
that's
do
what I'm
it
saying.
next year, and I don't think we do it this year to like
I don't put
try
it
to get
past him,
into the.
is what I'm saying.
I don't know, man. I mean, Stearns
It'll
also
be an
traded
interesting
Josh.
deadline, though.
Stearns traded Josh Hader in the middle of a fucking playoff race
He
because he
did.
didn't think he could sign him. So
And that didn't go well for anyone.
no,
And he
no.
kind of like, hasn't he been on record in an interview saying that, maybe I learned a lesson there?
And they were saying they were. I was listening to something where the Brewers were thinking about trading Willie Adames
Yeah.
this
And because of the
trade
hater
deadline.
thing, they're like,
Yeah,
yeah,
nope.
right. Fucking revolt.
So we'll see, man. You want to talk any other sports? You want to talk some Isles? We got some ideas about that. Or are you good?
We've done 66 minutes. I love it. And with no script. We're the shit, dude. If you want, yeah, why not? Oh, hey, you want to talk about your quarterback?
Oh, dude, the New York media. It drives me insane. Fucking Tom Brady fucking took 2 weeks off of training camp.
To sell some pills or something, right?
Right. And no one said a fucking word about it, right? But we got to write a story in fucking June about Rogers going to a music festival that he had pre-planned before the OTAs and the mini camps came out. You know what the Jets could have done if they really wanted to? They
Can
could
you
have
listen to
fucking
yourself though? Why does he have to go to the music festival if he's got work?
because he's fucking 40 years
Because
old
he's
and
Aaron
he's
Rodgers.
earned the
Yeah.
fucking right. He's earned the right, dude. He
I
came to
actually,
this.
I love this because I don't know the story. I don't follow this shit. Like I don't listen to the fan because I'm not in the car anymore.
I don't. Yeah,
Can you fill me in? Like, what's the music festival?
he went. I don't know. He
Is it
booked.
chain
He
smokers?
tore his Achilles.
Right.
He booked this trip like sometime last year before the schedule came out. He told the Jets, "Hey, I'm booking this thing these days just so you guys know I'm not available if you make a mini camp or an OTA or whatever." And what do the Jets do? Being the Jets, they make the OTA and mini camp that week. And I'm not saying that they should change it because of him, but like it's just I don't know, man. I don't understand. Like, and then and so this all came down to
Yeah.
the problem is that Hassan Reddick is holding out. This is the problem.
Yeah.
Hassan Reddick is holding out for a new contract still, and he's like, I'm not coming to OTAs because I want a new contract. Which we traded for this guy, knowing he wanted a new contract, and I don't know what Douglas says to these guys, like, hey, maybe we'll sign you to a new deal. If he doesn't have intentions, if he's just telling them what they want to hear and then getting them in the door to not give him a contract,
No bueno.
He's not giving this guy a new contract. So either Reddick knew he wasn't getting a new contract, or he is just deciding to do what he decided to do. Whatever the case may be, you can't say, hey, Hassan Reddick, you have to be here. We're finding you. But hey, Aaron, it's okay. You don't
You
have to
can't.
be here because you're Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers. So you
You
have
can't.
to say what you said. But the New York media is so fucking annoying that they turn this into a story and say, hey, Aaron
Of
Rodgers
course,
is
they're gonna
good.
turn into a story. You
He's not a
guys are
leader.
always.
But like, dude, I don't know. I have always been an Aaron Rodgers like truther, like believer. I think some of his like political things are weird, but I don't care about that. He's one of the best quarterbacks on the field when he's healthy that has ever played the game. Look at the stats. Should he have won more fucking Super Bowls? I don't know. Maybe Green Bay should have gotten him a wide receiver in the first round a couple times, but they didn't, right? So
Oh,
we
that
could.
well, I mean, McCarthy was a shit coach. Come on.
He still is a shit coach, but
Thank God. Yeah. Keep
that
re-signing him, Jerry.
that's a whole nother thing, right? Like everyone bitches about Nathaniel Hackett. Guess what? Aaron Rodgers is the offensive coordinator. Nathaniel Hackett's just a guy that makes Aaron Rodgers feel smarter about his ideas. He's ridden his coattails to get where he's at. That's fine. I don't give a fuck. Let's get this motherfucker on the field.
I'm sorry.
No one's going to be talking about this. No one's going to be talking about this in September, October, unless
They might.
he gets hurt.
It's the
Unless he gets
Jets.
hurt or we stink. Right. So, but if Aaron Rodgers comes out and we go 13-4 and we make the playoffs, everyone's going to shut the fuck up and they're going to be talking about how great Rodgers is and
Yes.
Garrett Wilson's going to have this best year of his career and all this other shit, right? So I don't know, dude. It's a non-story.
And the Mets are going to win 90s games. Yes.
Yes, it's a non-story story, but the other problem is Robert Saleh is he's okay as a coach. He's okay as a head coach. He's okay with the media. Sometimes he's too honest and he says too much. And he doesn't I don't think he knows how to get ahead of things.
Holes for himself.
Yeah, I don't think he knows how to get ahead of things. Like they could have easily gotten ahead of this. Hey guys, Aaron booked this. Like they could have said it months ago when they came out with OTAs and they knew he wasn't going to fucking be there.
He's touring with Bad Bunny. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and he's doing ayahuasca. He's selling dick pills with fucking Frank Thomas. I don't know, but him and Doug Flutie, Nutrigenics. By the way, Doug Flutie, do you have the same fucking hair guy as Trump? Because your hair looks terrible. All these things. So
Flutie 98, baby.
I don't fucking know, dude.
Flutie Rogers 98.
But
Rogers Flutie 98.
I want to talk about
28.
The Islanders real quick. I want to talk about the Islanders real quick.
Hockey.
Just real quick, because I want to.
Did we fire Condios the Rangers last week, or do I need to do it this week?
You need to do it this week. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
And probably the Mavericks and probably the Oilers because the two worst series ever.
And one of the angriest men alive at the time, Jerry West.
Yes.
Via con Dios. So we'll get this out of the way. Via con Dios.
Yeah. Have you watched?
Especially the Rangers.
Have you watched the HBO show about the 80
Showtime,
Lakers? Showtime?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both seasons? Great show.
I started second season and I saw that it got canceled and that kind of like tripped me up. I'll finish it.
I don't know if it got canceled. They just wrapped it all up. It was only a 2 season.
It seemed like they thought they were going to go longer, and then they're like, "Ah, shit, we got to like mash all the scripts together to cover these like 9 years or something, right?" Because like the first season was the first like 80 or 81, right?
Yes.
I thought they were going to do the whole damn 80s. I was psyched.
I mean, it was still a great show, but
yeah,
none of that.
And by the way, Clipped is like trying to copy it, and we watched 3 episodes of it. If you're,
I watched the first
Donald
2.
Sterling. Yeah,
I watched the first 2. I haven't gotten to the third one.
Yeah,
it seems crazy. It's got an all-star cast. It's got an all-star cast.
Yeah, well, I mean, watch it. Why not?
But let's talk real quick about the Isles. We got the draft coming up shortly. We got the 20th pick. We made a move for a second rounder. We got a couple of guys that were linked to it between Patrick Laine and Nikolaj Ehlers or whatever.
Ehlers, I would love to see. It makes up for passing on him for like Dal Cole or whoever the hell they passed on him for. But again, I think though Lou just picked up that second so he can ship out like Pajot. So I just don't know. I don't know if there's the cap in the assets. I'd love to be proven wrong.
Well, I think for Ehlers, it would cost a lot. Like it would probably cost our first round pick. And if we can ship out Pajot with that second and take our first and pick up Ehlers, I'm all for it.
I mean, if Ehlers is only a 1, I feel like they would ask for.
Well, the problem with Ehlers is he's in his last year of his deal and he's already.
Oh, it's a 1-year deal. Okay.
He's already publicly stated he will not re-sign with the Jets. He does not want to be in Winnipeg,
which is not surprising. That poor franchise, but
right.
Hey, if it's only a 1, I mean, whatever. Like again, I'm like, this is the opposite of the Mets thing. I guess you either go for it or you tear it all down. There's no in between.
Right. I don't even
So
think, but here's the thing, man. I don't even think they can tear it all down. I mean, look, you
yeah,
need to fucking go get a second
they're
round pick to get
there
rid
are
of your third line
NMCs and
center,
NTCs all over those contracts. Like no trades, no
right?
movements.
Our
It's.
defense is going
I
to be
hope
the
you like
same
this
for the
roster.
yeah, our defense is going to be the same for the next 4 years at least. Our
Yeah,
offense, like, dude, there's no tearing this down. I don't know how you could tear it
that's what
down.
I've been saying. So
The
like,
only
there's
thing you can do is tank, and I guess like that. If you tank now, it's still going to take 4 years to reap the benefits of tanking, and it's going to be 4 years of tanking.
yeah.
So
It's
I
like a
don't.
drunk trying to keep the party going, but like it's going to stop at some point, and then it's going to be really
I
bad.
but I think but
Um,
Doug, here's the thing. Where we are,
yeah,
forget about like Lou has not thought about the following season. He's thought about whatever year he's in, and when that year ends, he thinks about that next year, and that's it. So he doesn't care about AAVs. He cares about AAVs. He doesn't care about lengths. He
right.
wants length to bring the AAV down,
It's
but he
always been my
cares about
criticism.
but he cares
It
about
jams up the roster.
2024, 2025 right now. And we have the we need if you go into this season, we need two things. We need a top line, we need a top six winger, and we
Yeah,
need a bottom pairing defenseman. Unless you're
yeah,
willing to hand Bull Duke the fucking sixth spot, right?
yeah. You can.
And if you cannot go into this year with Sezikis as your top line winger.
No,
So
God,
so,
please no.
so if you're trading Pajot, you got to be thinking Sezikis is going to be your third liner, and you're going to have McLean on the fourth, and then you got Lee
Yeah,
and Gauthier on your third line. You got Fashing and McLean
it's a
on your
bad
fourth
scene.
line with whoever the whatever guy is. You
It's a
still
bad
got
scene. I would trade
Palmieri,
Brock.
Nelson. I wouldn't though, because you're not gonna get anyone better back. What are you gonna do? Get a prospect for him? Get a pick? Fuck all that noise, dude. I would definitely trade our first round pick for Ellers, or I would go find a way to get Line on this team for cheap and hope that he's not a bust. And
I'm not
then
against that if he's cheap. My God, yeah, that dude is
he played.
hella
He only played
talented.
like he hasn't played in the last 2 years. He plays zero defense, and everyone
Right.
hates him.
Well, look,
So I don't know.
yeah. Here's the only difference with the Isles that maybe if you want to cling on to some hope, is that Patrick Waugh is here, I guess, for the long term, and
Right.
he might be shaking shit up in terms of the old stodgy Lou philosophy. And I think I said this on text, but if Patrick is saying to Lou, "Go get me this guy, I'll straighten him out," it's worth a shot. Now, like coaches like Wah, he like kind of reminds me of Mike Keenan. Like you might like lose the room eventually. So, but
I
that
think
might be the perfect hire for this group because they're so damn old anyway. That you might as well go for it the next year or two and like fail spectacularly instead of like I don't know. You know what I'm saying though. Like hopefully Wah at least changes things up a bit. But shit, man, it's
I
bleak.
think
So I'm kind of like
I
wait and
don't
see on them.
I don't think it's as bleak as you think. I think
Do you think
that
they're making the pick?
no. I think they're
Yeah, I
going to
don't
trade the
either.
first round pick for some sort of top line
Yeah.
winger. And I think that it only makes sense. It doesn't make sense at this point. We're too far down. We've gone too far. It's like almost like when you're gambling and you've like bet
Yeah.
and bet and bet and you're like keep losing, but you got to keep betting to like try and get yourself out of
It's
that
why I don't
hole.
gamble. But yeah.
That's where we're at right now. Like
um
we have bet on this team so hard, and we can wrap it up after this. But I just want to
no,
say
no.
this last point: we have got to double, triple, quadruple down on
Yeah.
this fucking
No,
on this
I
team
think we
one more
agree.
time, because
That's what I
I
just said. Yeah.
I can't I cannot I think we're taking the first not taking the first round pick. We're trading it for something. We're gonna trade Pajot to backfill that salary, and then
Yeah.
it'll offset each other. And
And the
then
cap's going up by 4. Yay.
but you got to think about here's why I think we're not as bad as you think we are.
No, no,
We blew.
I want to clarify. They are aggressively mid. So I think it's bleak in terms of cup
I don't
contention.
I
They're,
don't
they're,
think
they're
we're
not
that.
it's not bleak.
How many third period blown leads did we have last year? We led the league. How many do you know?
Yeah. A
It
lot.
was like 15, right? Imagine
Yeah.
if we had 15 more wins or ties. We would have not been playing Carolina in the first round. We would have been a much different team. We didn't get Waugh until the last 30 games of the year. A full season of him, he definitely
Yeah,
changed the way we played
I know.
in a
It's just like
positive way. And we also had uh, Sorokin had the worst year of his career. He was
mhm.
trying to do too much. I think he had played too many games. I think he's going to get reset, and Wadd's going to get him right. And Mayfield, as much as you hate Scotty Mayfield, he was not right since the opening game of the year. He will be back, and
6 more years.
he'll still be better this year than he was last year by default.
Look, I'm just saying, like 94 points last year, 93 points the year before, and going into last year, we're like, okay, full season of Horvat, everybody's healthy.
But we weren't healthy last year.
It's an aggressively mid team, and you're right, we weren't. They can go on a run, especially if Sorokin wakes up. I'm
If
just wait and
Sorokin wakes
see.
up,
I'm waiting
yeah,
to see on the summer.
I just think we're not going to do much. Maybe we'll pick up a winger in this trade at the draft,
They're
and
going to
we'll
be
ship
aggressively
out
mid.
Peugeot. Maybe.
They definitely not a
Well,
lottery team. I agree with you on that. Like it's just, but it's a very like it's getting old. Maybe
yeah,
not. It's just like those contracts, though, like you mentioned. Damn, those guys are locked here.
yep.
Like if you wanted to trade Pellick or Pulak, you have to
Can't.
convince them to waive an NTC, like just to free up like money or years or space. So
You
you can
can't.
make the argument that those guys have peaked, but they're
They
here.
have right, but there is something to be said about grizzled vets in the NHL who know how to grind it out. This team knows how to
Yeah,
grind. If
they
we
make the
add
season
another,
shorter. We're
and
awesome when
dude,
it's a 60-game season.
but we had three 30-goal scorers last year and two 20-goal scorers. We haven't had that much firepower on a
Power
team
play's
since
getting
Doug.
better.
Power play's getting better. It's just our defense forgot how to play last year.
Mhm.
And I think because Lane was trying to like go so aggressive that we just didn't play. And then when Waugh came in, we started playing defense again. Now we still were putting it together, but on the fly, 30 games, I like what I saw. So I
And Mike
think,
Riley was a big part of that. They need to, if they're not bringing him back, they need a guy like that. You can't be
well,
all crease clearing slow guys. So
right.
and
Well,
Dobson needs help. He's still learning on the job,
yes. So
and he's going to
that's
get
what
paid
he is going to get paid, and
soon.
we need to clear money for
Yep,
him, and we need to
and
clear money
Romanoff,
for Romanov.
if you like
Absolutely.
him. So
I do like him. I've liked him. So I think it was a great trade. We got a
yeah.
top four defenseman in at 22 years old for I
We'll
don't
see
know.
how Frankie Nazar does.
Right. So
Yeah, man.
all right,
This is a good episode. 82
it was.
minutes for you guys to enjoy.
Yeah. Eat them all up. Get
Eat
yourself
them
some
all up.
Arizona hard spike iced
Hard. I'm
tea.
going back to the store today. These were delicious. Right
Poolside.
down the street. I walk, baby.
There you go. No car. All right. You want to do a official Via con Dios?
Yeah, why not? Fuck the Rangers, right? We didn't get to do this last week because I was all ready, and then we didn't record. So via con Dios, New York Rangers, so close.
Fuck the Rangers. All
And
right.
by the way, should I stop doing accents? Jenny says I should, and that's probably a good thing to do.
No, keep doing accents. Keep doing accents. All right.
They're so bad. All right,
That's
guys.
that's part of the shtick.
All right,
Until next time.
bye bye.